It's been a little while since I made a video, so I figured I'd better get out here and do something, even if it's wrong. Do lots of wrong, so I want to apologize for that rattling noise there. A little windy today, and I'm out in the shed, so the steel door is rattling in its track, so I apologize for that. Anyway, I've been watching some videos about, they're not really like newbies or anything like that, but you know, they buy these great big fifth wheels and those big long trailers and that, you know, and they get those great big trucks to pull them around, and then they and that's fine. I mean, if that's what you like to do, you know, and then they're paying these big exorbitant prices of, I'm not going to mention any names, but you know, you pay a fee, big old fee for to get, you know, supposedly free campsites, and you know, I don't know that much about them, but I've listened to some people talk about them, and they're not quite what they thought they would be. So anyway, you know, $2.50, $3 to wash your clothes. You know, you'll have 2 or 3 loads or so, 4 loads, and about as much to dry. And you know, but you get the inconvenience of being able to plug into power and you know, permanent hook up there for your black tank and your gray tanks. You know, and like I say, that's fine if, you know, if that's what you want to do. But boondocking is that's what I want to do. That's what I've always done. I've never had the opportunity to have you know, to be in you know, those big RV parks, you know, where you're packed in there right next to each other, and just not my cup of tea, so to speak. You know, they're fighting with each other. You know, you're making too much noise and all that kind of stuff. So you know, boondocking is just the opposite of that, as far as I'm concerned. Is you know, granted, you're not going to get power that you can just go plug in. You know, you have to arrange to make, you know, do your laundry and that, which usually means you have to go somewhere to do it, or you know, do it yourself in a bucket with a plunger. And you know, there's a bunch of videos out there that shows you how to do all that stuff. You know, showers and that. You know, I'll just grab me, you know, a couple 1-gallon bottles of water and head out to the woods with soap and a wash rag. You know. Then you can warm the water up a little if you want, and, you know, depending on what time of year it is. And, you know, 2 gallons, let's say 2 gallons for you know, for a shower. That's pretty cheap, I think. You know, 98 cents a gallon or so, whatever it is at Walmart. You know, you can fill up your 50-gallon water tank on your RV, and you know, it's kind of a false sense of security. You know, you wash your hands 8 or 9 times a day, brush your teeth with the water running. You know, all the stuff that you would do in a sticks and brick, you know, without any concern. Unlimited water and unlimited heat, unlimited electricity, and all that. You know, boondocking is, like I said, it's a whole different world. You have to figure out how you. Well, let me put it this way: you end up being a real minimalist. You know, when you first start doing it, you're not really aware of how much water you're using, and you're not really aware of a lot of things that you were in a sticks and brick, that you weren't, I should say, in a sticks and brick. So, you know, the first thing you do is you run out of water. You know, you're scratching your head going, you know, well, now what? You know, there's a whole bunch of tricks and things that you can do. You know, wet yourself down, soap and wash rag, and, you know, turn the water off if you're going to use your shower. Do your scrubbing, turn the water back on, and rinse. You know, a couple of gallons. In an RV, that's a pretty good deal. Laundry, you know, even myself, I have to go and you know, find a laundromat every now and then, but I have a portable washer that I use, and, you know, it's good for a couple of shirts and a couple of pairs of pants and There's no dryer. I don't need that. I'll just hang it out on a tree or something. And depending on what time of year, I mean, if it's gonna, in the wintertime, it's gonna take a little longer to dry. So you find some place in your RV to hang them over the tub or something, over the sink. That's what I do. TV is, well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, you want to sit around and watch TV all the time, but I don't do that. Boondocking means to me that, I'll sit out under a tree somewhere and, watch the animals and like I always say, if you just sit there quiet enough with 2 or 3 days or so goes by, if nobody's bothering you, when the animals will start getting curious, they start getting brave and curious, and they'll come to see you. Last year I had a deer almost right in my camp, and of course then an alien transport vehicle, ATV, went roaring by and he took off. So, you don't have to worry about your neighbor being that close, and with my truck and camper, I can pretty much get away from just about anybody if I really put my mind to it. And there's videos out there that show you how to do all that. There's videos that, negative videos, I think, that they're always talking about all the things that can go wrong, out of water, out of electricity, all that kind of stuff. People wandering around in your camp. Well, the closer you are to town, the more that's going to happen. People going into you, wandering around in your camp. So, I try to stay away from everybody, being extremely introvert, that helps. I always said I should have been a what do you call them, hermit. I'd have been perfectly happy to be a hermit. So, I can entertain myself, start a nice campfire, sit out there and drink your coffee, or cook your breakfast and all that kind of stuff. That's good for me. That gives me something to do. And there's internet problems that you can get absolutely truly unlimited internet and your sticks and bricks, and you get out there in the boondocks, and that's a luxury now. Something that you really need to watch your usage and all that. There's companies and people out there that offer truly unlimited and no caps and no throttling and all that, but you're going to pay a pretty good price for it. So I was doing that last winter. I was paying about $100 a month. So, but with the laptop and the iPad, 250, 300 gigs was gone in no time flat. So, I just told myself. So I sit around and watch movies a lot. I'll do that at night. Sun goes down, I'm headed for, inside the camper, close the door and lock it, and watch movies and, answer comments and things like that, upload videos and all that. So, and I just want to say that, you can't just jump out there and say, well, I'm going to go boondock and I'm going to stay out there forever. And, you get a pretty rude awakening right at first. And there's a channel that, I'm not going to mention his name, but he talks about that. It's kind of a pain at first, and then you get used to it, and then the third is you just settle in. So you got it all down pat, and the first week is really going to try your patience, and it's going to try your resolve. Like I say, you just have to be a mentalist and start paying attention. I use solar for my electricity. I started out with one panel, and boy, that wasn't enough. And I started, so I bought another panel, and now we're at 200 watts, and well, that wasn't enough. So I went to 300 watts, and that was enough to do my, just my normal everyday thing. And then I decided I need to store more food, so I bought a what do you call those? It's a freezer with the lid that goes up, And I bought one of those. Doesn't hardly use any watts at all. I think it was running. It was 125 or something like that. So I had to get, I bought another two solar panels. So now we're up to 5, and in the summertime, that's more than enough. Uh, in the wintertime when the sun starts, it isn't so high in the sky, and then you start getting storms. Uh, it's not quite as good. It's just a way of life. So, you get out your little generator and you start watching how much electricity you're using and run the generator to charge your batteries up if you're not getting enough from your solar panels. And that's what you do. Anyway, there's a whole lot more topics that I wanted to talk about, and maybe I'll do that in another video, but I just want to get this one out because it's getting kind of long. So, and then, you start repeating yourself. Anyway, I guess that's it, and I'll be talking to you again soon.